So a little recap of what it is that I've been telling you. Also, Bitcoin, what I've been telling you is that we are in a risk off market until about here. And after the first week of June, we shifted into a risk on environment. You started to see chips gain momentum again. The NASDAQ started to gain momentum again. And we sort of went back into it. But I was very wary of this because Bitcoin is trading below its daily 50. So, show me something, get back above 75, and then I'll be a believer. And then all of this movement here was just chip nonsense. And I was not going to participate in it. There's no reason for me to risk my account on market manipulation, nor is there any reason for you to risk your accounts in market manipulation. Why would you do that? The whole point of coming here to trade with me now is to learn how to become a technical trader from a technical perspective and trade the markets based on what you see, not what you hear or what maybe, or on a narrative that's out there or in between your ears. Learn how to become a technical trader. Doesn't mean you don't listen to the narratives, you don't hear them and create them. Doesn't mean you don't watch geopolitical action. It doesn't mean you don't watch domestic political activity because it has an effect on the markets. Doesn't mean that you don't watch the bond market, the credit market, listen to and read the economic data reports and some of the other things that come out that Michael does such a fantastic job on Thursdays reviewing. Doesn't mean we don't take all that in. And that takes time. But it's not something that you need to trade fairly quickly with Trade With Me Now. You can come in, learn our methodology, track our trades for 30 days. You'll build an allocation plan and a trading plan in that 30 days. Yes, you will. If you follow the videos in order, you will actually be creating a trading plan. And because you're putting my alerts into the tracker and watching how they react and how you react, you end up creating a personalized trading plan, and you can't trade without one. So one of the reasons why you're here, yes, to get the alerts, okay, learn about market internals and what really moves the markets so you can start to understand what's going on. Okay, yes, that's 2. But number 3 is to learn how to trade, how to allocate properly and stay within a system. And not just jump in because the crowd is jumping in or jump out. And so if you look at the alerts, if you look at the trades that we've taken, I took a few light beatings last week, some trades that did not work on the monthly expiration of June. Oil, we still have a bunch of oil trades that are down for the month of July, but I don't care about those because to me, that's house money anyway. I made so much money. We made money on the USO trades over the last few months and the hedges that we put on oil, that even if these trades went to zero, it's not shocking. It doesn't do much to my account. We made money on GDX. We made money on Google. It's just almost every single trade we looked at made sense from a technical perspective. We set our allocations properly. We added to trades. We hedged trades. We managed trades. And some worked and some didn't. And so what? Overall, still up 70% for the month, for the last few months. You don't have the IBM trade. That's so odd. You know what it might have been? I might have called it out in the room that I was putting on a good till cancel because I did it on the screen. Like I literally showed my screen. I remember showing my screen, entering the good till cancel. Oh, so Tiger Doc got one. All right, yeah, so you got one, right? All right, so I'm not crazy. Thank you, Tiger. So I point all of this out because there's a lot of new people in the room, and the markets are just all over the place. You don't know who to listen to, right? You can't listen to the media because they're all over the place. They're biased. You can't track the administration and what they're doing because we have an election coming up. So they're going to be doing things, telegraphing different narratives to move the markets and policy to move the markets. Unfortunately, now, if you remember to be an equal political opportunists. Those of you that have been around for a little bit, during the Biden administration, I thought the Biden administration policies as it related to the markets, from energy policies and anything that affected the markets, leading into the election, going, let's say, 8 months into the general election, were some of the worst policies I've ever seen. And what I said at the time, those of you that were there at the time, I said, this administration is lying to you, and don't buy it, and don't watch it, and let's trade the markets in spite of. This is a lying administration. They're lying about inflation, and every narrative, every talking point that comes out that the media supports is not true. But if you remember, I said at the time, hold on, before you liberal crazies shut me off, because there's plenty of you out there, and there's even more Trump crazies, just to smack you guys evenly. There's crazies on both sides. What I said at the time was, if the Republicans were in power, they would do the same thing. They would lie to you and do everything they could to maintain power leading into an election. Yes? Somebody put a Y in the comments when you heard me say that if the Republicans were in power, they would do the same thing. And they will do the same thing if they get power. I said that. It's not about being anti-Biden or a Republican or a Democrat or whatever. I'm just speaking the truth as to what happens. And what you are now seeing over the last 2 to 3 months of this administration are some untruths and some manipulation of markets, whether it's buying a piece of intel, whether it's telegraphing peace when we don't have it, trying to rig the oil markets, whatever it is. The narratives that you are going to hear and that you've been hearing could affect you in how you trade. And I'm here to help you through it so that you are not affected by the misdirection and manipulation done by the Biden administration going into the election year, the general election, and being done by the Trump administration going into this election. It's why we talk about politics, because in the absence of political conversation, I don't mean one against the other. I don't mean red against blue. I don't mean MAGA against progressive. I don't mean that kind of political conversation, because I don't want to have that conversation in this room. I'm talking about having constructive conversation about how politics and decisions and policy affects our markets and what we have to do. Is that clear? I hope those of you that are new don't go, oh boy, here we go. I'm in a MAGA room. No, you're not. You're not at all. You're in a MAGSA room. You know what this room is? MAGSA. Join me in my campaign. I want this color. And of course it has to be pink. This is the new campaign, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't believe in this mantra, then you probably should leave. It's MAGSA. This is it right here. This is what you're going to get in this room. You're not going to get progressive lunacy. You're not going to get MAGA lunacy. You're not going to get anything other than this. I've been doing this for 6 years. I try not to get too political. But again, having some conversation about what's going on in politics from a policy perspective and narrative policy perspective and news cycle that supports it affects our markets. Make common sense great again. That's my slogan. I hope you guys like it, because my father taught this to me years ago and drilled it into me. The one thing I got from my father, other than looks and style and talent and brilliance, was common sense. He said, let this and your gut rule your decisions. Common sense. And don't deal with people that don't make common sense. This is it. It's just common sense, right? Exactly, Michael. Equal opportunity haters of politicians that don't do the right thing. So, my point of this is that recently and over the next few months, there's going to be a lot of movement in these charts that you see. The chip market, which includes Nvidia, and they're one of the leaders, which is why I have it. Bitcoin, risk on, risk off indicator, the gold, silver, metals markets, the oil markets, the put call ratio, which is now swung the other way to a certain extent, yields, which really gives us an indication of what's going on with the inflation narrative. You have the US dollar, which is a huge indicator, one of the first things that we should be looking at. The VIX, which is the fear index. You got your three indices, the Russell, the SPY, and the Qs. This is the trading world. If you start, well, the MACD is doing this, and trust me, this is it. This grid tells you everything that you need to know. And so that's what we've been watching. That's what we've been looking at. Now let's drill down into some of these charts. Now, oil is the one chart that hasn't popped up yet. I'm waiting for this. In fact, I mean, today would be a great day to get more, because it's the one last. It's the lagger, right? The dollar up, yields up, put call ratio has reversed. The VIX popped over 20 today. It doesn't do that just for shits and giggles. We got a gap down in NASDAQ. We got a gap down in the SPY. Even the Russell is starting to get a little rotation, but still down, about a third of a point. Bitcoin down almost 3%. Nvidia down almost 3%. MU is down over 10% earlier. So what's left? What's missing in this? Can you see? What's missing obviously gold moving down with the dollar? What's missing? The only thing that's missing is a retreat under 20 on the VIX temporarily, and oil hasn't gone up yet. Do you see? This is the only thing that hasn't kind of rolled over. So you don't have a full confirmation of a correction, although a correction is needed. It's coming. They're already starting to use the C word out there. But I mean, right here, if this doesn't tell you everything you need to know, look at the dollar. The dollar is not rising for good reason. Oh, look at the US dollar. The US dollar is going up in value. That must be good. Well, it can be good if it's for the right reasons, but this ain't the right reasons. This is not good. But right here, oil, not so good. All right, so everybody clear about what you've seen here. So let me move on and look at some individual charts, share with you some ideas. Probably sit tight only because there's a big event tomorrow. MU. Yeah? So MU has earnings tomorrow. And it's a narrative, been following. If it disappoints, it's game over. If it doesn't absolutely knock the socks off, it also could be game over.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comment section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.